Hey y'all, this is Diamond giving you a quick how-to as to how to get this plastic on these windows. It is an easy how-to. All you need is plastic, a ruler, and a good staple gun or tack hammer will work. View of my snow with 12 inches outside. And Mr. Hawk, no sir, you may not come in. Diamond in the rough here. It has been almost forever since I have done this. The sea got me on the ropes a little bit, but I've been bobbing and weaving, y'all, and we trying to make it happen. But I'm here today since it has been so cold with so part of the country in the world, but most part of the country in the world. I thought I'd give us a little tip on how to keep that hawk at bay because y'all, the hawk is real and alive and kicking. So I'm hopefully can upload some still photographs of what I've done to my particular place of residence. In my home, there are 19 windows. It's ridiculous, just on 2 stories. So even with some insulation for some of the new windows, and some of the windows are glass block, some of them are ready and shaken. I think there's a way we can kind of keep that hawk outside where he need to be by using something as simple as, and I hope my pictures will upload properly. I think this is not quite 5 millimeter. In terms of thickness, it might be ml. Thickness in terms of plastic. Now, what is nice about this plastic, and I have it on a piece of white paper where you can see, it's literally translucent, transparent. On the corner here, I kind of move it to the camera if I can get it right. You can see where I've stapled. First, I've taped the corner where I staple, and I reinforce it because over time, and this piece of uh, plastic is easily 5 years old. I keep this plastic, I roll it nice and tight and put it up in the summer and bring it out at Halloween when it starts getting cold. It doesn't impede your vision in any kind of way outside your home. Suggestion here is to go to that favorite fabric store. We won't mention her by name, but every now and again there is a 50% off coupon for one regularly priced item. And I use my coupon to be the regularly priced item for the plastic that's going on my windows. Now, this plastic is heavy enough that you can as well keep a good sized piece in your car if you have to get on the ground and work under your car, or if you have to, let's say, be in an area that might not be too dry and you need to stay dry. You can use this as a wraparound. You can use it with an emergency blanket poncho. It has a lot of applications and it's super strong that you can kind of see with me playing with it here. So I'm just going to show you how to do the calculations in a short way. Organize your layout to where when you lay this out, and usually it comes around 60 inches, 58 to 60 inches wide, you can easily lay this out nice and tight and neat. You don't need space in between. It doesn't fray. It's super thin, and like I said, it's strong, and it does not fray or stretch or warp unless you really pull at it. But the way you lay it out is a way you're going to save and be efficient about your purchase, such that you can go into your favorite store, come home, cut it apart, pop it up on your windows, and tell Mr. Hawk, goodbye, see you later. It won't keep out all the hawk, but it'll keep out some of that wind that blows through some of our windows, even with new windows. This will block some of that heat, or some of that air escape, rather, heat escape. So what you want to do as a first step, and I did this to make this video nice and short and sweet. First, you want to measure your window. North, south, east, west, 2 measurements. Now, this is with the inside diameter of your window. If you have windows that are set a little weird, add a little more to that measurement. I added 3 inches to each side. So a 31 inches instead of being 31. Width, I'm counting it as 34 inches. And where it's 37-inch long, top of the window to the bottom or to the windowsill, I add 3 inches. Now, if you have some weirdness to your formulation of your windows, the layout and whatnot, don't be afraid to add more to these sides. What you want is something that's bigger than the inside diameter of your window. And then secondly, what you do, or thirdly, I should say, you will add all your lengths together. 40 inches is the length of mine. I have, like I said, 19 windows, and I just run them end on end on end on end on end. So after I add all of my lengths together, I take that total number and I divide it by 36 to get the total number of yards. And then I add an extra yard, quarter or half of a yard, to make sure I don't run out. Let me move that over. So here I have a layout sample of how I laid mine out. Now you'll notice if the width of the fabric is only 58 to 60 inches wide, these two are not on the same layout. In essence, really, this is one layout of 34, and I could have easily tipped them on their edges and been at 40, run end on end on end. But since I wanted to take advantage of the width of my fabric, I took advantage of my width. But I measured by 40 because I always like extra of this material. And I'll tell you some other things that we can use with it as we finish. So you'll see 34 inches wide butted up against each other. So as I add them all together, I get the total number of length of yards of what I need to purchase in one buy, because the coupon usually is 50% off of the cut of one item. They don't care if that cut is 1 yard. They don't care if it's 10. They don't care if it's 20. They will take off 50% of whatever that charge is. If it's $5.99, you're only going to be paying, $2 and maybe 75 cents, or $2.79 or 8 cents a yard. And it's worth getting it in one big cut, and you go home and you cut it with a pair of scissors and a Sharpie and a layout. But these are your layout lines. So I'll open this back up. This is one kind of layout at 40 inches. If the material is 58 inches long, that means I'm going to have 58. Let me get a piece of mail here to hide that. That means I'm going to have 50 or 28 inches left running along the length of my yardage, because I'm only 58 inches long, so that's 18 inches that I got extra to play with. And I take the whole piece. I don't leave nothing on the table, nothing on the floor. If it's 60-inch wide, then I'm lucky. Sometimes depends on what your bolt width is, and they'll measure it before they put the snip in it. If it's 60 inches wide, I have one weird window, because it's a double window. It's 60 inches wide because there's space in the middle, but I do one big piece for both windows. And it's 70 inches long in terms of the length of the window from the top to the window sill with my addition added in. But my point is, take the whole piece of fabric, put an X through what you think you're not going to use, and little strips like 28 or 18 inches at however many length of feet that you have or yards that you have. You can use this to put up under plants. Your floor won't get messed up. You can stick this in an entryway. Say if you don't have a runner and you have some bare, I have hardwood floors and I don't like salt on my bare floors. So I will run this at my front door. Excuse me, I'm bending over. At my front door, when I want folks not to walk on my floors with them muddy boots, because it wipes right off. I hose this off in the springtime, or either I'll take some spray, Windex, fake wannabe spray, window spray, and wipe it off. It's not real messy, only because I wipe it down a lot. And I put it up with a staple gun, and in my still pictures you'll see where I put it up with staple gun in order to keep it tight on the frame. And I'll get some zoom in close-ups of some of the insulation properties. Once it's on your window, it will be clear. Clear, clear, clear. You can see outside, see the snow, see the squirrels, see the animals, depending on where you are. I put this up with a staple gun. Get a heavier one, not the one you staple papers with, because the plastic's a little thick and it won't go through. I use sometimes a tack hammer. Those are convenient to have. Nice one strike. You don't have to really use any hand strength per se. But I put it up, maybe doing three staples across the top of a window and three at the bottom. Maybe one on each side, depending on what the window application is. And these are usually for windows that you are not going to open for the winter time. Now, can you remove this and open up a window? Absolutely. Can you put your drapes over it? And I think I have a shot of where I did just that. I put the plastic up, put my drapes up, close them drapes, or even open them partially. You can still see right through it like you're looking through glass. That's what's nice about it. So, try different layouts. This one's 32 inches. This is 26 inches in terms of width. If it's a 58-inch wide bolt. But again, get all your yardage at once. Cross out what you don't need. Now, to get it right to where you're walking in the store, I think I had another piece added to where I did just that. Let me take a minute and peek around, reach around, and see if I can find it. If not, I'll use my calculator. Oh no, I have it. Here it is. Let me switch it out. And here are my dimensions of what I use to get plastic at my most recent fabric store with that girl with the last name, with the first name. I have 7 times 37 windows at 34 inches long, 238 inches. I have one window at 60 inches, well, really 70, because that piece was 70 inches long. And I have one window at 120. It's a wide window, but short. And 2 at 36. So when I added up all of my windows, I came up with 490 inches. I divide that 490 by 36, because it's 36 inches in a yard, and I came up with 13 yards with a remainder of 22. Now that 22 is really close to almost a fifth of a yard, if not over a fourth if I dig it right, because a yard is 36. So I would round up just to be safe. 13 plus 5/8, I'd round that up to 14 and call it a day. And here I did some dimensions over smaller parts of a yard, because depending on the fabric store, they won't go any smaller than 1/4 of an inch in terms of what they'll measure. Your fabric by. It's a little bit more light because it's getting dark where I'm at. So 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. If you got 3/4, you might as well go to a yard and call it a day. Keep the extra plastic, because you can put it, like I mentioned, under plants. You can put it on floors, and once it's flat, it will stay flat and won't curl up. So I slip it up under rugs, moving from my front door to the main part of where my living room is, because I have a very, very short distance between my front door and the living room. I don't have a hallway or a foyer like most people would have in their homes. You can use it for when your grandchildren are over and they're painting, and we know that paint and that glitter makes a whole mess in and of itself. Pop a piece of that plastic down, roll it up like a hot dog when you're done, roll it up, shove that trash, shake it, and put that stuff in the trash. Have your grandkids help wipe it down, and it will be a activity for them to do. And have them help you clean up, roll that stuff and shove it in the arts and craft room, or shove it in your basement, or shove it in a corner. The way I roll it is on an old, either a carpet roll, or either if I can fold it gently, or put it in a loose hot dog roll myself and put it up on the top shelf in my basement. And then when it comes time to use it, I take it down and let it relax and lay flat in an area that's unused, maybe the basement, or if it's warm enough, your front porch. let it flatten itself out because it will relax on its own. And then I write in the corner of each one what window it came out of and what room. Living room, window 1. Living room, window 2. Dining room, long window. Kitchen 1, kitchen 2. Uh, Bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, and just label by the number of windows you have in that room. So in that case, Diamonds, you can, like I said, beat that hawk at his own game, because it is cold in these streets. I'm here to tell you, it is not for play. It is cold. It's going to be cold. And like I mentioned, I would put a piece of this in my car as well. So if you need something in the car to keep the hawk off your neck and butt, you can surely do that, because sitting on cold ground is no fun while you waiting on a ride to come, or if somebody's hurt and you need to at least insulate them a bit, of course, with a blanket, and you've called 911 as best you can, be prepared. But this stuff comes in handy in all kinds of ways. Enjoy it, use it, have fun with it. And Diamond in the Rough signing out. Everybody, shine bright.